So it's currently the 22nd of March 2019 and the UK is meant to leave the EU in just 7 days. But no one really knows what's happening. So how did we get here?
We must recreate the European family in a regional structure, called it may be the United States of Europe.
There were calls after the Second World War to unite Europe, and when 6 other nations did in 1951, the UK didn't want to.
In the 1960s, the UK decided it wanted to join the EU, but France wasn't too happy on it. They accused the UK of deep-seated hostility to the European project and vetoed them twice, in 1961 and 1967.
Britain has much to contribute to this process, and as members of the community, we shall be better able to do so.
By 1973, that all changed. De Gaulle was no longer in charge of France, and the UK could enter the EU.
The issue is de Gaulle was right. By 1975, the UK was holding a referendum on its membership, and 67% decided to stay, but Euroscepticism never really went away. The UK never really fitted into Europe. They weren't connected by land, they refused to adopt the euro, and they withdrew from the ERM. The EU started off for trading coal and steel, and after a while it got way bigger than that. Goods, services and people could move across borders with no restrictions, and it just never went down well with the UK. The issue is, Labour ran an anti-EU campaign, and they got demolished. Our longest serving Prime Minister got ousted from power in 1990 because of her anti-EU remarks.
He wanted the European Parliament to be the democratic body of the community, he wanted the Commission to be the executive, and he wanted the Council of Ministers to be the Senate. No, no, no.
And it just showed that it was political suicide to bring up the EU, but in 2016, David Cameron didn't seem to care.
That the British people decide our future in Europe through an in-out referendum on Thursday, the 23rd of June.
I will be advocating vote leave.
Wanted this vote, all my adult life.
Has to take back control of this country. The EU has failed us all.
The worst thing is, as the polls closed, no one really thought the UK would be leaving
At 10
the EU.
o'clock, the polling stations close after weeks, months, years of argument. And we'll have the answer to the question that's haunted British politics for so long. Do we want to be in or out of the EU?
UK electorate has taken the historic decision to withdraw from the European Union.
The sun has risen on an independent, united kingdom.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union, and their will must be respected.
After David Cameron lost, he resigned, and the Tories put Theresa May in charge, but she was always a Remainer.
We are living through an important moment in our country's history. Following the referendum, we face a time of great national change.
To get a bigger government and make her deal easier to get through Parliament, Theresa May held a general election, and in trying to get a bigger majority, she got a smaller one, and she had to team up with the DUP, and that meant when it came to Ireland, the whole thing just became really difficult.
Reignited a fierce debate over Northern Ireland's future.
Because both are members of the European Union. But when Britain pulls out of the EU...
It's now an outer EU border, and the question is, do we put a barbed wire again of soldiers? There'll be a customs border at the very least.
Theresa May's deal got defeated by one of the largest majorities in parliamentary history, and it got defeated
the ayes
again
to the right,
just a couple
202. The noes to the left, 432.
What the government cannot legitimately do is to resubmit to the House the same proposition.
The issue is, no deal's been rejected, and so's the second referendum. It's put Theresa May in a position where she has to get a deal, but
2 years on,
she just accused
MPs
PMs of
have been
delaying
unable
Brexit,
to agree on a way to
making it highly
implement
unlikely
the
they'll
UK's
back her
withdrawal.
anytime soon.
As a result, we will now not leave on time with a deal on the 29th of March.
The issue is, in 7 days we're meant to leave, and no one really knows what that's going to look like anymore.